Pride is before a crash, and a haughty spirit before stumbling. Proverbs 16:18. Sadly, Solomon later failed to apply his own advice. Sometime into his kingship, he proudly began to ignore God's requirements. For example, one of the laws stated that a Hebrew king should not take many wives for himself, so that his heart may not go astray. Deuteronomy 17:17. Solomon disregarded that law and acquired 700 wives and 300 concubines, many of whom were pagan. Perhaps Solomon felt that he had everything under control. Whatever the case, in time, Solomon suffered the consequences of his drawing away from Jehovah. Paragraph 13 question: what can we learn from meditating on Jesus' humble attitude? Jesus maintained a balanced and humble view of himself. In his pre-human existence, Jesus built up a marvelous record in Jehovah's service. By means of Jesus, all other things were created in the heavens and on the earth. Colossians 1:16. At his baptism, Jesus evidently recalled things he had accomplished when he was with his Father. But that knowledge did not cause Jesus to become prideful. On the contrary, he never exalted himself above anyone. He told his disciples that he had come to the earth not to be ministered to, but to minister and to give his life as a ransom in exchange for many. Matthew 20:28. He also admitted modestly that he could not do a single thing of his own initiative. What humility Jesus displayed! Jesus provided an excellent example for us to follow. Paragraph 14 question: what can we learn from Jesus about having a proper view of ourselves? Jesus taught his followers to have a proper view of themselves. On one occasion, Jesus assured them, "The hairs of your head are all numbered." Matthew 10:30. That statement is very comforting to us, especially if we tend to have a negative view of ourselves. It means that our Heavenly Father is deeply interested in us, that we have value in His eyes. We would never want to call into question Jehovah's judgment by concluding that we are unworthy of being His worshipers and of receiving life in His new world. Paragraph 15, question A. What balanced view of ourselves did the Watchtower recommend that we develop? Question B. As shown in the pictures on page 24, if we are too focused on ourselves, what blessings are we missing out on? Some 15 years ago, the Watchtower recommended that we develop this balanced view of ourselves. Certainly, we would not want to think too highly of ourselves to the point of becoming conceited, nor would we want to go to the other extreme and think nothing of ourselves. Rather, our aim should be to cultivate a reasonable view of ourselves, one that takes into consideration our strengths as well as our limitations. A Christian woman put it this way: "I'm not the epitome of evil, nor am I God's gift to others. I have both good points and bad points, and so does everyone else." Can you see how beneficial it would be for us to cultivate a balanced view of ourselves? The following is a description of the pictures being considered with paragraph 15. John is focused on himself. Tom, who puts spiritual pursuits ahead of his own interests, widens out his circle of friends as he helps in renovating an assembly hall.